Howdy, howdy, folks. Welcome to Babble with Bronies. I am your host. My name is Everlasting Joy, and joining me today are, as always, my good friends MrBen
Yo.
and Twilight is Magic.
Yeah, that's right.
I always like that. All right. I know we were gone last week, so we don't have as much to make up as you might think, believe it or not. What was it I was going to say? There is some carryover from uh, some of the previous weeks, but again, not as much as you might think. We've got a truckload of news, like probably the most news I've had in a very long time. So let's get started, shall we? First off, season 5, for its part, will be up on Netsticks on July 30th.
Woot.
To make a long story short, not much to really say here. The only thing I wanted to bring up with this was the fact that why would it be? There's no way that the Horsies will be done with season 5 on by July 30th, unless they were to like cram a truckload of new episodes into 1 hour or into like an hour block or 2 hour block or something anyway, which I doubt it will be. So here's my question: why would season 5 be heading to Netsticks on this early?
I doubt that it's the entire season.
Right, I concur.
Yeah, and that's the thing because we're not even halfway through the season yet, and I'm sort of wondering are they just gonna like update it in real time or something like that, like add the new episode like every Saturday probably.
Now that would
Likely.
be
I don't
cool
know.
if Netsticks actually did something like that. I mean, for once, what they tend to do is, of course, they take the episode or they take a series, anything, Doctor Who or Breaking Bad, whatever. They have to get like it takes a long time before this. They get the full season, and even at that, it takes some time before it actually gets put on there. So with this is a bit shocking. If it's going to be what you said, MrBen, like a real time update, that'd be great. I mean, if it did it right then, like on Saturday after it aired, or sometime on Saturday after it aired, that'd be great. But I wonder because I sincerely wonder if it's not something like a mid-season break. I would not be shocked if that's the big deal here. I could be wrong. I don't know why they would do a mid-season break. Like we're talking till fall kind of a break.
Yeah, that's what I'm not entirely sure. They might be doing something like that, but I don't know. So, speaking of which, I understand that there was originally not supposed to have been a new episode this upcoming Saturday on the 4th, but apparently that's been changed. So apparently we might be getting one on the 4th. I'm getting conflicting news sources on that. Some are saying that we are, some are saying that we aren't. But
Given the
uh
fact that we saw the advertisements on the Uncovery family on during the new episode, I would be willing to bet that there's going to be one. I would
yeah,
actually trust the actual source more than I would someone else.
I would, I'm the same way with you on that. So
Anyway, the good news is for us though, if you watch the Horsies on Netsticks, season 5, or to some degree anyway, will be on
Straight from the source's mouth.
there. Let's move on. Speaking of which one do I want to do next? Okay, I'll go with this next one. In merchandise news, the DJ Pony presents MLP remixes is finally out. I know I've kind of reported upon this. I've been teasing about it, and I'll give it to you guys, of course. Hey, I'm not going to argue with that one, Tim. I don't know why I would. But anyway, point is, if you... I know some people have already bought this. In fact, it's like the #1 selling album right now on Amazon. And, well, if you're into EDM and other sorts of remixes like that, they've taken all sorts of songs from the show, like Winter Wrap Up, and remade them. Vodka horse. If it doesn't shoot rainbows, I'm going to be mad. All right. Well, since we're on the topic of merchandise, the Equestria Odysseys collector's card game packs are up for pre-order. Pretty much what it says on the tin here. If you're up for... okay, thank you, Matt. Anyway, the point is if you're into the card game and you want this new series coming out, feel free to throw some money up for a pre-order. Hopefully it's not your food. What's next? Well, I'll keep rolling with the merchandise. Some of this, I decided to cover a little more merchandise this time, just partially because I found some of it so interesting. Derpy, there's a Derpy Hooves plushies that's been spotted at Build-A-Bear. Some of the images have arrived. The reason I wanted to cover this one was because... okay. I wanted to cover this one because the actual Derpy Hooves model in Build-A-Bear Workshop. Awesome!
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. Didn't think that I would have heard of anything like that being introduced for the Build-A-Bear. Makes me actually want to go there and build one myself.
I know, right?
So, I've actually been kind of tempted to go down to the Build-A-Bear and get one of these for myself ever since they started doing them. I actually have a Build-A-Bear down at the local mall. I might do that when I go down to see the new Star Wars film this December, assuming that they still even assuming that it still will be in production by then.
All I can think of are those, advertisements. You wouldn't download the bear. Yes, I would, if I could.
You wouldn't download a pizza. Why the hell not? Yes, I would.
I would even build a pizza. To say nothing of a bear. A pony bear. A bug bear.
Actually kind of makes me wonder how much those actually would cost.
I'm not sure.
I could look that up probably.
I wonder, are the employees of the shop called bear builders?
I think they're called, like... I'm not sure.
Because...
sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, nothing.
I wonder how hot the ponies at Build-A-Bear are doing in the sense of like is it one of their top selling things or is it only middle of the road? Maybe it's the worst. I doubt it, but I'm curious.
Hmm. Apparently, they've looking in on that. They've got Princess Luna, Cadence, Shining Armor. They've got Zecora, Trixie. I didn't know that they did all that. Huh.
Oh yeah, they went on a huge. Not long ago, they did a bit of an expansion to include royalty,
Hmm.
Shining Armor, and Cadence. They've had Trixie around for a while now.
Huh. Funny. They got all the princesses except for actually Twilight. No, I take that back. They do. They do. Um. Huh. Hmm. Well, yeah, it doesn't give me any pricing information.
That's how they trick you. See, then you have to go in, and when you're in and you're building it, or even like kind of in between it, you're either haven't started or just barely, and then it's like, okay, I'm done, and
Oh,
that's where
hot
they get you.
diggity. Okay, never mind. I clicked on it. Like the most inexpensive I've seen is about $25, but it can go up to as much as like 65, depending on how you customize it.
That's actually not bad when you consider a lot of things.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. This one I had to throw in partially because I'm also a fan of this franchise, of a different franchise. There's a Borderlands 2 Butt Stallion up for pre-order, or up for order, I should say. I played a little bit of Borderlands 2. I need to finish it. I know. But the point is there's a character in there called Butt Stallion. And yes, I find it kind of hilarious that by actually giving it form, Butt Stallion, she looks like Rarity.
Well, given that the original Borderlands 2 credits mentioned Fluttershy, I'm not exactly surprised, and given the several references to Pony in the skill trees, so yes, they are. We are among them, so to speak.
Bronylands 2.
Yep.
I kind of find it funny that the EQD says it's called Butt Stallion, but it says, "Isn't she just majestic?" I'm like,
Yes, it's a she.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
In the game too.
Huh. I'm like, wait a minute, it's a mare, yet it's called Butt Stallion. I'm like, mind implodes.
Yep. That's Borderlands 2 for you.
The game is just one layer of stupid of stupid and crazy up top another. But that's what makes it so good. Not enough rainbows, though, I must confess. Anyway, sorry, were you going to say something?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I wasn't.
All right, that's it for the merchandise. Just a couple of other things I have for news. The Hertz Census 2015 is up. If you're into that, I just wanted to pass this one along. If you're into this idea of putting your name for the Hertz Census, knock yourselves out. But it's up. Go for it. Do you like me, Queen Cheese Legs? From what angle? All right. And lastly, this one I wanted to save for last intentionally. The Guardians of Harmony. It's a new trademark that Hasbro put down for. Quote, Hasbro has filed for a trademark relating to My Little Pony. Last time we got a blah, 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 blah. It's called the Guardians of Harmony. Targets the toys specifically, though usually it has something to do with whatever the episodes are following at the time. End quote. Here's the article for you two. I wanted to bring this one up for speculation. What do you guys, both you, Mr. Ben and Tim, and the audience, think this is going to be?
I don't know. I'm kind of loath to actually offer speculation at this point because with the way that the show's been going, especially with season 4, with a bunch of all the headcanon destructions done, I kind of don't want to say anything because I don't want to create any unrealistic expectations for myself. And I'm just sort of curious how this is going to play out. The name.
I would say that the Targets the Toys specifically does offer some insight into what at least is going to start as. So it's likely not the upcoming movie, or at least not immediately. But yes, sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say the name sounds promising with the Guardians of Harmony. I'm kind of curious as to how they're gonna play that out, but I don't know. It's just guess time will tell on that one. I suppose I have to agree with Matt there in the chat room. And with you, Tim, it's probably more like the toy line, because from what I understand, the third Equestria Girls movie is supposed to be coming in, and it's supposed to be the Friendship Games, but this might refer to the 2017 film that's supposed to be in production. So I don't know. It could go either way.
If it's some kind of branch off spin-off series, I would like that myself. Who knows? I doubt it will be, but who knows? Hey, I can dream, can't I?
Maybe.
All right, let's move on then. Since I can't dream. All right.
You can have a nightmare if you never dream.
You know, that's actually true, and it's actually, there's a perk to that.
Yep.
All right. Thought I did. Oh, well, that's fine. All right, guys. Audience and those only electric sheep. Art or music? Art or videos first. There are some actual videos here.
I don't really care either way.
We did art last time. Let's go the other way.
Okay. Waiting for some of the responses to roll in here. Give him another couple seconds. Okay. 3-2. The videos win. All right. Which one? Okay, I want to go with this one first. This one came in late last week, I think. I sent a message out to it longer ago, but like early June, maybe even a little earlier. But I didn't get a response until sometime late last week, early this week. This is My Little Pony Socks Are Magic by Gray Fur. I'm going to put you guys on hold and I'll send you the video shortly.
My little pony, my little pony. My little pony. I used to wonder what friendship could be. My little pony. Until you all shared its magic with me. Big adventure, tons of fun. A beautiful heart, faithful and strong. Sharing kindness, it's an easy feat. And magic makes it all complete. You have mine. Do you know you're all my very best friends?
I like this one just because of how simple it was. It's just the intro with all the ponies in socks. And you know what? I think that's cute.
We got sucker punched.
What do you mean?
It sucks.
I get it.
Da 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 da.
Ding!
Have to admit, when this meme first reared its head, I never quite understood the appeal. I mean, I thought they were cute, but then it just started going totally overboard, and I'm like,
Going totally overboard? When has it ever done that?
Exactly. So,
Gray Fur's My Little Pony. Socks Are Magic.
Twilight Warner best.
Let's go with this one next. This is Bacon Pancakes by Adam the Amazing 64.
Pancakes, take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes. Bacon pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes. Bacon pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes.
I have no words.
Well, I would say that Adam has been improving. I would say that he could use a little bit more I don't know, dynamism or dynamic, stuff in his videos, but he's going well. Also, Sunset Shimmer making her main, seemingly.
So what are you saying? She cut her mane and fried it?
Yep, back in main as well.
Doo 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 doo. All right. This next one was probably something a few of you caught wind of earlier in the week. This is Royal Washout by Pastel Chi. I'll explain a little more after the video, but for now. Pastel Cheese Royal Washout. This was a graduation project she had to do. It's just a normal day in Canterlot. Sorry.
Well, that was ridiculously adorable.
I know, right? I don't mind
Yeah.
it when they do Chrysalis cute.
It was a bit stiff, but works as a graduation project. Works well enough, at least.
Chrysalis blowing the bubble in her
Yep.
foot.
My favorite part. That was. I'd say that maker person has the ideas down. Just needs some more practice, but
Yeah, school never gives you that.
yeah, think it's just fine.
All they do is they throw everything at you and never give you enough time to refine your skills. But that's just me.
Well, aside from dodging what they're throwing at you.
Good point. All right, I gave it. Yep. I'll make sure. I'm sure I posted it, but there. All right. On to the art. That was the last of the videos. Yes, I know he's here. I'll get to him shortly, though. What I do want to do is get to... which one do we want to do? Let's do this one. been a while since I've had Barry Paunch on. Doctor Who's Day of the Derpy by Barry Paunch. I'm sorry, his name just lends himself to that. It really does.
Punch.
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 Oh man! Now you guys want to make me want to play frickin' Smash Brothers again.
Wait, you need a reason to play that game?
No.
Yeah, you can call me what you want for being also a Doctor Who fan of putting this one in. But what I liked about this one was Derpy in a Dalek costume flying around in space. How can you go wrong with that?
I just love how it says derp innate.
Yeah.
I guess that's what happens when. Well, I guess what happens when she goes to watch some pony is what happened last week to the streams. When just about every stream, save 2, had technical difficulties, so was shut down.
Indeed. I always liked his style, Barry's. The really big eyes, everything looks so round and shiny. I think it's really cute.
Yeah, and it works for his subject matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely for the subject matter does it work. Here's the art. And let's move on. One more and then I'll get to ice. Let's see. Who do I want? Okay, let's go with this one. This next one is by Celebi Yoshi. And yes, it's a Tim recommendation. Thank you, Tim. Twilight and Spike. This is a collaboration between Celebi Yoshi and Earthsong 9405. Earthsong did the lines, and Celebi did the coloring and background. But here it is for you guys. Almost forgot.
Oh, that is cute.
That's part of the reason why I wanted to put this one in was how cute it was.
Yeah, to give some background information, maybe that's the horsey look. That's all Earthsong, in my experience, and the coloring is all Celebi Yoshi.
Okay.
I'm just more focused on the fact that Twilight is just so chubby faced, and Spike practically just looks like a baby in that picture.
Yep, that's Earthsong's work.
It's adorable. I absolutely love it.
Yep.
We need to see more like this in the actual show. Just like Twilight just curled up on her stomach, just like Spike just wrapped up in her arms or something like that.
Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z.
Yeah.
Also, something I just noticed, I kind of missed it last time, but notice that Twilight here is a classical unicorn thingy. The hooves.
The feathered hooves I see what you mean. The cloven ones.
Goat hooves.
Yep.
Twilight wins at Goat Simulator.
All right, here is the picture, and I promised I would also link to Earth Song's DA profile. There it is. Why I like doing a French accent, I don't know. I think I've watched way too much SpongeBob. Oh well. All right, as promised, let's get him in here. Yellow.
Yeah,
Ice.
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 Getting the mic plugged in. He's on, so we know he's here, folks.
Hello.
Yellow.
I forgot that my mic was turned off for Skype, so I had to go fix that.
Oh, I do that so many times you wouldn't believe. Huh.
It's necessary evil sometimes.
All right, here is Owl Talk by Ice Sticker for Tim and Ben. We have Sunset Shimmer, Trixie, and Pinkie Pie. If you haven't seen this one, Mr. Ben, you're going to get a hoot out of this one in particular.
I see what you did there. A hoot out of this.
Already starting with those, eh?
Pinkpora Piebora. That's what I always call her in these. Anyway, so who wants who?
I don't really care. I guess I'll take whomever, doesn't take anyone else. Although if no one takes her, I guess I can come down with a case of irritable bowel syndrome.
All right. We'll give you Pinkie, Mr.
Yeah.
Ben. Ice, you want anyone?
I guess I'll take Shimmer.
Tim?
I have no idea how to make them sound, so.
Well, the only one,
Take-
I guess the question is going to be, do you want Trixie or not?
It depends in which sense you mean that.
In all senses.
Insert Lenny face here.
Yep.
Anyway, do you want to voice act Trixie?
Sure.
All right. All right. Pinkie Pie starts.
Hoot hoot! Trixie, Sunset, look up here.
Oh no. Do you think we can go back before she notices Trixie?
Just resign yourself to this, Shimmer.
Don't feel discouraged even during the toughest times. Go straight this way and you will see Hyrule Castle. It is such a great castle. The cakes are the best. I had like 5 yesterday. And there's this one alley where it has this one uneven rock. The areas you have explored will be shown on the map. Press start to enter the subscreens and ZRR to find the map.
Yeah, get on with it. Skip.
Oh, is she done yet?
On the map subscreen, you'll also see a flashing dot showing which way you need to go next. You'll also need to collect the maps from the man in green clothes. He is a funny man. I fly by him sometimes because he's so funny. He knows how to throw a party. This one time I almost hit him because he was flying with the balloon. I couldn't believe it. You won't either.
So, Celestia, is she going to go forever? Skip.
No way, Pana. That fish is too small. Put it back.
Did you get all that?
No.
Da-da-da-da-da.
That part of the game is just painful. Did you get all that? No. You're just mashing A rapidly like you bastards at Nintendo.
I still fall for that. I've beaten that game more than like 24 times, and every single time I fall for that stupid owl.
See, I've never actually fallen for that, to be perfectly honest, when I was playing that. But that's actually really funny because I never noticed how, until it was pointed out to me, like, well after I beaten the game, that when someone mentioned, hey, did you ever notice that the owl is the only person that they specifically put no at the top of that lengthy explanation that you skip through?
And they only do it sometimes. Like the first time, it's yes, and then you get used to it, and then all of a sudden he just throws in a no at the top, and you're just like, you son of a bitch.
But he is the only character that they do that with too.
Yeah. They changed it in the 3DS. I was kind of upset that they changed that in the 3DS and they flipped him so he doesn't do it anymore. But I was like, oh, that owl all the time. Pretty much every single time I'll always get caught once because I'll just be like, hey, come on, just get through this. I don't care, owl. I know what you're gonna say. No one gives a crap. And then he's like, no, and I'm like, fuck. Gotta go through this all again. You goddamn hell.
He's telling you all of this information to put some context in it for those of you who may have never played this game. Shame. By the time you actually meet the owl Kapora Gebora in the game, you've gone through a dungeon. You basically, and everything he tells you, you either have already been told or can figure out or have figured out by now. So in other words, the only relevant information that he tells you is just where Hyrule Castle is. Beyond that, that's
like,
not hard to figure out either.
It's like you go over the hill and there's this giant castle there. It's like, I wonder which one is the Hyrule Castle that Deku Tree told me to go to. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Is it the big mountain, glowing mountain, or the giant castle in the distance? There's only two landmarks you can see.
You encounter him a little bit more, a few more times throughout the game, and yeah, there's really nothing that he gives you that's... All he does is just blab, and none of it is relevant.
The only time he's ever useful is on the top of Death Mountain, because he'll give you a ride down Death Mountain, but then you have to be paying attention to hit it to make sure you want to take the ride, because he flips those too.
Stupid bastards.
So if you don't get that, then you have to like walk away and come reinitiate the conversation to get him to fly you back down the mountain.
Master trolls indeed.
Yes.
So what do you have to say about this one, Ice? Besides the rage that we've shown.
Oh, this was a fun one. I was originally torn between making the Pinkie Pie owl like owl colors or just going pink. And I was like, I had two layers for each color, and then I'm going pink. It looks funnier.
I like the. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say it looks funnier because it's all pink Pinkie Pie. Gotta keep the color scheme proper.
I personally like the choice that you did, both the colors and the style, keeping it as Kapora Gebora looking as opposed to like Pinkie as an owl or something. It keeps the illusion and the reference all the better.
Yeah, that was another thing I was struggling with when I was sketching it is, do I want to go like cartoony like MLP owl with Pinkie Pie, or do I want to go and grab a screenshot of the N64 pixely blocky version of it and reference that? And I went with the blocky version because I'm like, this is the way I've always seen this owl. This is the way it needs to be. This is the way I need to put it in here. Because I try to keep the Legend of Zelda items and stuff looking like Legend of Zelda items, even if it doesn't look proper. So like if they have a bottle, it's going to look like a bottle. If I have a sword, it's going to look like a sword. And if I have the owl, it's going to look like the owl.
Anything else?
I don't think so. This one
You
Started
also made
enough-
the comic look like the comic.
Yeah. Can make a comic look like a comic. So,
Believe me, it's an art.
yeah. Some of it was tricky at times. Those sitting
Very
poses.
easy. Everyone will be doing it.
Those sitting poses gave me a hard time.
All right. Shall we move on?
Sure.
All right. Thank you, Ice, for sharing this with us.
Yeah. It's a pleasure. It's always fun to come in here and listen to you guys voice act my comics.
Hey, pleasure's all on this side of the table, believe me. All right. See you in chat then.
Alrighty. Thank you.
All right. That's Owl Talk by Ice Sticker. Okay, let's go with this one next. This is Through the Woods by EC Monkey. Another Tim recommendation here. You can kind of see why I wanted to put this one in.
Yep.
That's very colorful.
Exactly.
And it's very beautifully colored for its additional medium,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I suggested this in the first place.
It's so vibrant, bright, bold. I love
Yet-
coloring like this.
Yeah, it's not yet. It's not overbearing.
Mm-mm.
No, you're right. It's not. Say
And I would say that it's largely because the artist has a good understanding of tones, shading, of picking the right tone and not just pasting saturation over the place.
Yeah.
this looks like something I'd see out of a picture book, probably.
Yep.
I'm loving the colors on this. How did they do this? Was the traditional media? I'm just like trying to think. What did they use to make this? I mean, it looks kind of like. I don't want to say they did like, markers or anything like that, but I could definitely see like where, like
It does
the
look like
impression.
markers.
It does look like markers, especially like when you look at like the trees, like there on the far right and the far left, like where it's like a little bit more tone and shading in with the branches and stuff like that, and the greenery. And I'm liking how he did the water effects on that, or how the artist did the watering effects on that, and just the blue sky on that as well, outside of the clouds. It's just. Yeah, it just like I mentioned, this looks like something I would definitely see out of a children's picture book, practically.
Ice mentioned that, and yeah.
I wouldn't deny that it would probably be watercolors. It kind of gives that impression to me.
Coloring
That-
water with watercolors. I heard that in the Inception horn. And
Yeah,
I know that's
that's
what
the
you were
point.
going for.
Artception. Yeah,
Shall we move on?
I suppose.
All right.
Boom.
Whoa. Okay, let's go with these two next. Yes, unfortunately, folks, I don't have a truckload of comics this week. Sorry, but hope we'll go with this one. Flame Vulture 17's Kingdom. In a similar manner to the last one, the coloring is why I picked this one. This kind of reminds me of that game, what is it, Amnesia, where it's very colorful or very like a cell shading almost? Or what was it? I can't think of it, but regardless, Oh, I know. If it wasn't that, it's Donkey Kong Country Returns. Sometimes that game, they give you levels where it's just this, where you get this very dark silhouette of Donkey Kong, but you might only just see his tie or Diddy Kong's hat and shirt. It looks really cool. And this art styling kind of runs in that same manner. You only see the black outlines of, in this case, Queen Chrysalis and the Swarm, but everything else has this very bright, fiery looking look to it. Yeah. That it does a very good job of highlighting what it wants to highlight and de-emphasize that which it wants to de-emphasize. It looks fantastic.
Yep. It's one of those things where I kind of understand what's the difference between technique and vision. Because this picture could have been a lot more complex. It isn't, but it's full of vision. It's driven by vision specifically, and it's manages to make the less detailed and more focused on the color tones style express a lot more than a more highly detailed style would in this case. So I don't know if that makes sense, but it does to me. So
I caught you.
I really like the outline around the black parts. Somehow it makes them both, stand out and not interfere with the rest of the picture.
Mm-hmm. This kind of reminds me also of in movies, they might do this from an artistic standpoint, a Nightmare Swarm kind of scene where this is all you see, just really, it's usually really red and dark colors, especially like red to black, kind of everything in between.
Yep.
So it looks like something out of a animated movie. Again, really good choice in that sense. All right, let's move on. And the next one I wanted to touch was Gone Fishing by Apricolor. Ticketa.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's no problem. I hear that and all I can see is just Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah.
Ticka. Okay, good. I did get this one. I saw this one a while ago, but I think I passed it off for one reason or another. Tim recommended this one to me, so I'll give him partial credit on this one. And I think it was more I was on the fence and finally decided because you suggested it, Tim, or something. I can't remember. It doesn't matter.
Come on, it's marshmallow ponies with mustaches.
I just love the fact that we have a father-daughter bonding moment like this. We don't see enough of that in the show proper on that.
Yep.
You're right. That would be awesome to see.
This kind of gets on a bit of forgive me for going off on a tangent on this, but I would love to see something like in the actual show, something like a Father's Day or Mother's Day episode where we actually see the characters spend time with their families, like, Pinkie Pie with her parents, Twilight going to visit her family in Canterlot. We see enough of Applejack with her family, her brother and sister and grandmother, but we never see, the family for like Rainbow Dash or Fluttershy. But, and I would love to see something like that, more like with Rarity going to spend time with her dad or her mom. And,
hey, who better to be Rambo than Rainbow Dash?
I actually paused that one. I was like, wait a minute. Did I actually say that? Because I sometimes, slur my words and mumble something, and I'm like, wait, did I actually say that?
But yeah.
This picture is great because he went for the softer tone, and it works so much here.
Yep.
I couldn't tell. It sounded like you guys got cut off there, but anyway, yeah, I love how soft this one is. Now you say it's Sweetie Belle and her father. Their marshmallows are supposed to be okay, but let's play that up.
This is
here.
particularly soft.
Exactly.
And it's soft everywhere because of the kind of focus lens effect thingy, the detail focus thing, the closed, the slit-eyed ponies, which are another way of making the character look soft. It's narrowing down the eyes somehow. Somehow it works. And of course the colors, and of course the proportions of the bodies. They don't have sharp angles. They don't really have any sharp lines. Don't have many straight lines about them.
Mm-mm.
Even the environment doesn't really have many strong, long, sharp lines. It does have some, but not many. Just enough to make the ponies themselves stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I wanted to mention something. Look at the freaking bucket. That's how you shade metal. That isn't
Holy
a plastic
crap.
bucket. That's a metal bucket.
I didn't even notice that until you
have
pointed
no
that
idea,
out.
You have no idea how hard it is to get metal shaded done right.
You're right. I don't. But I'm guessing if I were to try, I'd probably be cursing at it and look for someone to help me with it.
Oh, yes. Also, take a closer look at their coats. They are kind of mother of pearl style color. It's a very good trick to do in the white ponies.
You don't want to go for direct white. It just doesn't work very well. You need some kind of off color to make it work well.
Yep, there are no white ponies in the show. No pure white ponies in the show. And likewise, this is true here.
And yes, Celestia is technically a very, very off color of white or pink.
Yep.
Yes,
And
this
all the
kind of
other-
explains why we got Pink Lestia.
All the other white ponies are also of something.
Vinyl Scratch is an off yellow.
I think Rarity is blue. I think, if I'm not mixing things up.
I wouldn't be shocked if Sweetie Belle's some kind of off pink too. Or maybe like even an off...
Of hair color.
yeah, something like that. Anyway.
Ooh, didn't know that. About shiny armor.
Huh, well, I sit corrected. Alright, let's go with this one. This is Celestia by Kiara. Sorry. Unless it's Kiara. You know, it's supposed to be spelled. I'm not sure.
E-I-O.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't going to make the joke. And hot damn, those are some big wings.
They're realistic.
Huh.
If you
Well-
want to stay aloft with that body mass.
That's true, yeah.
Quote, "It's been a while. I wanted to work on some fauvism. So, there we go. I think it turned out okay." End quote. That's part of the reason why I wanted to get this one was the style choice. The other was the mane in particular. I love the colors up above here. Very vibrant, very bright, very in your face, but as you always say, Tim, not overdoing it. A perfect-
Also, something
perfect
which
combination.
interests me here something which is really interesting. One, that while the painterly strokes are all over the place, the mane and tail are actually very uniform. They are not stroked all over, so to speak. They are just done in one or two strokes of each color.
Wow.
That's what makes them stand out against the rather short rich background. And also the tail kind of has many overlapping colors, which looks really interesting to me.
Blends in
'Cause
with the
she-
grass.
Yep, and with each other, so it makes them work very interestingly. And yes, the overall color choice, it's kind of, yeah, it's a bit over the normal spectrum, a bit over the top, but in a good kind of painterly way. Well, you know what I mean.
I do.
From the very, very blue bottom end to the colorful top, which is also blue, except greenish blue or whatever that color is supposed to be.
This
In
looks
any
like
case, it's a good exercise in that varying palette thingy magic.
By the way, yes, this is a Tim recommendation. One other thing I wanted to note. This looks like something some household or a restaurant would put up as for decoration. Can we just get this printed off so I can do that? Because that's how much I like this picture.
That's what the download button is for.
Well, I'd have to print it off, though, is what I mean.
Yep.
Which, that's fine. I'll do that. But anyway, let's move on. One, two, three, four. Still got quite a few left here. This next one is more of just an advertisement. Bunnymation is making some buttons for BronyCon. This one, she's making a whole set around episode 100. I just grabbed this one with Bonbon because it was the first one, or actually Secret Agent Sweetie Belle. Yes, I love that backstory so much. But anyway, I wanted to just kind of throw this out as an advertisement. I'm sure she has some more information on this one, but anyway, the point I'm getting at is, if you're going to BronyCon and you see Bunnymation's table, feel free to pick up buttons that she is selling. She has this one. She had another one with regarding Celestia and Luna's little squabble. And what was the other one that she had? She released one not that long ago. Oh, yeah, I think it was on Mod. Mr. Ben, I'm reading your comment there. All right, should we move on then?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go with this one by Shaman Ghoulie. So Much to See by Shaman Ghoulie. There's that. All right. Yeah, I definitely need to blow this picture up to let you guys see everything.
Would you prefer TNT or C4?
Oh, C4, without a doubt.
That is some amazing landscaping right there.
That's what Shaman Ghoulie specializes in.
If he gets a special on PBS, I'm going to flip my lid.
Also, the hair, that's also another specialty of theirs.
Okay. Quote, there is one corner of one country in one continent, on one planet that's a corner of a galaxy, that's a corner of a universe that is forever growing and shrinking, and creating and destroying and never remaining the same for a single millisecond. And there is so much to see. A quote by the Doctor. Oh. Yeah, I definitely love the landscape. I'm particularly fond of the lighting with it. A rising dawn or a setting sun kind of thing. He doesn't really say, does he? Nope. But, regardless, the two are about the same. Very well done. Very well done, man. You guys have anything left to say?
Just keep up the good work. Always love to see this type of artwork, especially in the backgrounds like this.
Yep.
All right.
It's some very good landscaping work, but we already said that, so
All right.
just not sure what else I can say here.
And let's go on to these last two artists. Finishing up, I'm going to start with Vest here. First one is titled Endure. I've been covering his series on these pieces here. On his, I don't think these are supposed to be wallpapers, are they? I think they're just supposed to be...
Well, now they are.
Oh, now they are. I sit corrected. Anyway, I'm going to read his quote like I usually do. Quote, "The trait of honesty wears heavy upon those who have been tasked to maintain it. Honesty is an ugly business sometimes, not for those who wish to make a living on a get-rich-quick scheme, selling snake oil to grannies. Not for those who can't tell a close friend when they are being really rotten. It's especially not for those assigned to guard the door to protect the secret of a surprise party. Honesty takes strength, wisdom, a bit of bravery to dive in and take the heat for the sanctity of preserving truth. A blanket affirmation of honesty encompasses a character exhibiting far more exemplar. Let's try that. A blanket affirmation of honesty encompasses a character exhibiting far more
Sorry.
I can't read today, apparently. Exemplary traits beyond it. Honesty is rough, but honesty is a necessity. It can burn to say what needs to be said, but facing the heat of ugliness head on is the best way to endure a harsh truth." End quote.
Well, the Cutemark Caves looks like the Tasselworm lives there.
Now that you mention it. I love...
Also,
Go ahead.
They seem to be full of Kool-Aid.
I always love looking at his work. It's always so bright, very bold, but I love how his lighting is a little more subtle. It just doesn't seem so in your face like this.
It's just more diffuse.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
He just makes it more diffuse as opposed to, sharp rays kind of stuff. But it's also very bright. What I noticed, that it's not nearly as soft as that fishing picture.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not glaring. It's not burning your eyes.
It makes it seem so much more natural. That's why I like it so much. All right, I'll get this one to the folks. And his other one, he finished them all in Courage. The Pinkie Pie one. Saving the best for last, yes.
And I believe this completes the series, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Which is why I said saving the best for last.
Yeah.
Saving the best for last too.
All
Yeah,
right.
I see what you did there.
What was it I was going to say? Oh, read the what's its thing again. Quote, the trait of laughter is the most envied. A number of problems can be solved accidentally in the pursuit of a joke. An effort to find humor in a difficult situation prompts thinking outside the box, looking at it from a different angle, and in search of a silver lining. An ideal spring up. I blame some of the font or arrangement. An idea springs up so ridiculous it has to work. Laughter hops, skips, and jumps in mysterious ways, whether it's from a twitchy tail, ear flop, or a rumble in the gut. But laughter maintains a commendable track record, where the science of observing it can't keep up. Can't keep up with the claviclade of proof in affecting others for the better. Where all other trials have some inferences to learning from... I think I'm getting ahead of myself here. We're all... Huh?
I said, just take a deep breath and just don't get down. You see, now you got me doing it.
I caught that. Where all other traits have some inference to learning from the past or preparing for the future, laughter exists here in the here and now. And right now, it just wants you to smile, smile, smile. Laughter is a wonderful feeling, but it's even better when it's shared. It brings the weight off your shoulders when life gets heavy. And with a little giggle at the ghosties, it can encourage perseverance. End quote. So how do you... Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just reiterate that West has had a lot of good ideas in making those good spark shapes in the landscape without making them look too outlandish. Well, for a given value of outlandish, you get what I mean. Not too contrived, but at the same time contrived enough to make the shapes.
So how do you explain the tassel worm making these holes?
Well, I didn't say that he lives in these caves.
Touché.
Besides, it doesn't look like caves at all. This one is more like mountains. That's, like I said, it's very nice of him to kind of close off and make the shapes with various objects in the foreground, in the background, in various... Just by virtue of perspective, they make this particular shape of the kitchen mark.
Mm-hmm.
And the colors as well.
Not really much for me to say since I said most of it back at the HA one, so I'll pass on any comments.
Yeah, I also wanted to mention that which I didn't get to mention in the AJ one, that it's... I noticed that for the waterfalls he uses this tried old kind of sharp looking stream of color for the waterfalls. This is a technique that kind of works. Here it does. Here it definitely does. And helps the thing stand out more. Here he uses it too, except the waterfalls are more diffuse.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, while the mountains look a bit crazy, well, you know what I mean, look at them. This Pinkie Pie. And I would say that in Equestria or like that, this landscape could very well be natural.
Symbolism there. All right, shall we move on?
Coincidence, I think not. But yes, let's move on.
All right. And lastly, is tax time. Doot, 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 doot. And he's not showing.
Typical.
Mm-hmm. All right. I will... Let's see. Okay. I'll bring the comic up, and I'll try again. And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out what's in my head. And I'm feeling a little peculiar. Why not? I'm bored.
If you were hoping that I would join in and do that with you, you're kind of sadly mistaken.
I was actually, truth be told, I was kind of expecting you to, but oh well. I was going to go on, but I figured he'd call. Anyway, why don't we read the comic and we'll finish his bits up and we'll go from there. We have Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie. Who wants who?
Let's see. I guess I could take Dash this time since I took Pinkie the last time.
Okay.
All right.
So you have Dash. Tim, do you want one?
Yeah.
I'll take Pinkie.
Nah.
Okay. RD starts.
Pinkie, did you know Gilda once told me she used to live here?
Oh, Dashy, this is great. You and Gilda can finally catch up. That fun is terrible. Oh. All right, so he is here. Just a moment. Go to the sink and take a shower.
Oh man,
Almost missed ya.
I know. Because the thing is, it went past 5, so I was like, okay, maybe they aren't doing it.
No, we're still on.
Oh, okay.
Well, we just got done with the Here Today, Gone Tomato comic. We already read it.
Oh, that was the episode 8 one. Okay.
Yeah, we're way behind, so yeah, we are playing a bit of catch up here.
I see what you did there.
That was not intended. Bear in mind.
I know.
But now that you mention it, you clever bastard. What do you have to say about this one, Tox?
Well, let's see. That comic, well, the funny thing about the comic is it took a while for me to do that one because surprisingly, you have to remember, I did these comics, some of these about 2 weeks to even 3 weeks before the episode aired. But the problem is with this one, I knew for a fact Gilda was coming back in that episode long before it was actually synopsis, or whatever the hell you want to call it, because it made sense. Or it's a Griffin Star. I'm like, okay, they're going to bring back Gilda, like I was telling everybody for like months now. But here's the problem. So basically, I had to work. There was no way to describe what Griffin Stone was, so I had to literally make up the town it was. I really went with like, okay, maybe it's got to be up in the mountains, which I was right. It was up in the mountains. But I completely screwed up on the actual design, obviously, because I had no idea what they were going to be like. I didn't know it was supposed to be that run down. And I decided to have Gilda in a tomato costume just because I need a pun in that comic, so I was like, okay, why not?
So that was it. That's why she's in the tomato outfit.
Kind of. It's more like one of those things where you see in front of, like, I can't really describe it. It's like I saw this more as a kid, where it's like the mascots are dressed up and just whatever, and then they're just random ones for just representing the town all over the place, giving out flyers.
Right. Advertisers for
Yes.
not only various businesses, but for, sometimes the town. I know what you're talking about. Nothing quite like seeing a dancing gorilla on the sidewalk advertising a Halloween joint.
Exactly. But yeah, this was a good comic. I definitely like this one. And I just noticed in the chat there people were talking about worse last year stuff, so I'm gonna freaking just destroy someone who said that. Oh, it was you. Oh, look at it was you.
Yeah, are you gonna make a worse list?
No,
picture?
but I'm still delaying on putting out my Weary Luna right now. I have a lot of stuff that's still backloaded right now, but I thought there was gonna be a break in the season, but nope, there's no break coming up. I was wrong. But yeah, that's about this episode. Yeah, that's about the second time I ever drawn Gilda was that comic. So, all right, that's about it for that comic.
Let's move on to Snuffed Out.
Yes, the filler comic.
Because this is filler.
Let's see what we got here.
We just have Derpy.
Yes.
Who wants to voice her?
You can do this one. I got that.
Shut up.
Okay.
Last place? What? That's impossible. Everything should have been cooked perfectly.
Trying her new voice. I think I failed miserably.
And then the last panel.
Toasty!
So yeah, this comic. What to say about this one? Well, it's part of the series that I've been doing for, actually I think the third anniversary of the series, Pat. I mean, yeah,
Really?
3 years ago. Yeah, 3 I just did it 3 years ago before, I think around this month is when I started. I'm pretty sure I started around May. But what I really like about this one is that it's basically sure it's the same joke that I keep running around. Yeah, it is. But at the same time, I like just putting her in just ridiculous situations because I have another version of this one that I'm going to do down the road, which is basically an Iron Chef parody. This one I thought about going. I thought about doing a close parody of this one. That I wasn't going to be able to do that one, but this one is. I spun it in a way a little bit that I can still do the Iron Chef pony one. There's a reason why. I mean, I had more for this one. I mean, trust me, I had a lot more for this one, but this I was running out of time, so this one I was trying to figure out when I released this one. This was during the June 6th. All right, so this was when I was at MS. No, it wasn't when I was at MSP. It was the week before, after. So yeah, there was no episode. This is when we were still in the episode break between Slice of Life and the Griffin one. So I had to do a filler comic, and I decided, you know what, why not just bring the series back for a little bit? Because I'm actually trying to remember when the last time I did this specific comic was. But yeah, this one it was quick. It was actually a lot harder to make than I thought because I didn't know what to do for a grate over, like what type of grate to put over. So I just went with a simple approach. I mean, I was kind of pressed for time on this one, but honestly, it came out really, 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 really well.
What was it I was going to ask? Oh, how was MLP MSP, by the way? I didn't get the chance to go, so I wanted to ask.
It was interesting. It was a very they had the exact same amount of people than they had last year. I think they only went up by like 22, but it was decent. I mean, I got to eat at Panda Express at the Mall of America a lot.
Hey, Panda Express is awesome.
Fun. Stuff is good stuff. It's good food. I like it. It's good deliciousness. But yeah, that's. I'm pretty sure this is about it. I don't really have anything more to say about this. It's just basically the same series. I'm not done with these. I still have plenty more to do these.
All right.
And actually, I just checked out in my gallery when was the last time I did that series. Before this one, it was all the way back in January. That was actually my first comic of the year that I did that series again. So it's been 6 months since I brought that specific comic series back.
Wow.
Damn. Wow. 6 months and 3 days.
All right.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Well, thanks for stopping by, as always, Tox.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if we were gonna do any more. Okay.
No, I'll save those for next week. I know there's gonna be more, but we'll probably get caught up in about 2 weeks.
Actually, did you do the Fluttershy one?
No, I don't think I did.
There's a Fluttershy one that's in between my gallery, in between those two comics.
Okay, I'll check on that.
Actually, I just linked in the chat.
Okay.
Oh crap! I didn't mean to do it. Some of the link, I didn't realize is when you link. Oh, there you go. Whatever. The link's right there. I swear, if you copy paste that link in the chat, you'll find it. Firefox is being really weird.
I have it. Here, why don't I just do
Yes.
this?
That's the one that was in between the two comics. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. Okay, there's the link.
Okay, I got it.
It's because you couldn't push the ATP thing. So yeah, this thing, I don't know if you guys have it up, and
I'll do
don't know
that.
if you have it in the chat.
Might as well. I threw it in the chat, but go ahead. If you got it, I'll give you
okay.
a couple minutes to talk about this one.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's nothing much. It's just more of the DBZ series that I have going with this one. But yeah, this one was I really like this one, to tell you the truth. This one was a lot of fun to make because I haven't done a flying one ever. And so I wanted something to give the impression that she's flying backwards.
Mm-hmm. It worked wonderfully.
It really looked. I mean, I'm not. I got to make more of these type of ones. The problem is I can only get flying ones to Pegasi ponies. Kind of what I did with the new Pinkie Pie one. I kind of didn't do that, but you get the point. But this one, yeah, I mean, this one was more of an experimental one that I tried with, just because I wanted to see if I could get the wing. I never done one with a flapping wing pose like that. So this one, trying to figure this one out. I actually was selling this thing at Everfree before I actually released this one. So, and actually, I put this one out. Right, that's right. I put this one out on the weekend of Everfree. I forgot about that. But yeah, this is the version 3 Fluttershy. I am going to do version 4s eventually when I get to them. But I haven't released Applejack and Pinkie Pie yet. That's the one. And Rarity? I haven't put Rarity out? I have not put Rarity out. So I have 3 of them still waiting in the wings to put out on a dry week right now. And a Were Luna right now.
Nice. Tell me more about the energy.
The energy orb thing? It's kind of what I've been doing with the standard ones I've been doing for a while now. I've kind of gotten into this mode where it's like, I do a very faint opacity layer, and I just just layer it up a little bit, just again, like a very faint, like bright orb thing, but not without going like orby.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. But what I did do is, that's not in this one, and it's not going to be in the Rarity one, but when I did the AJ and Pinkie Pie ones, I did a new way to do the electricity stuff, so anybody who's been in my streams have seen how I do those now, and it looks a lot better.
Nice.
But this is
the real life.
This is the latest DBZ one. That's the latest DBZ one that I released on DeviantArt. Doesn't mean that it is the latest one that I haven't finished yet. But yeah, there you go. That's about it. Although I think on Sundays it's going to get really tight because my work schedule is I'm working basically 2 to 11s on Sundays after a couple weeks now. So contact me when I do my next convention in 2 weeks.
Sounds good. All right.
Yes,
Thanks for stopping by, Tox.
Yes, no problem. And I won't be available next Sunday.
Okay. Noted.
I'll be working next Sunday. So there you go.
Take care.
Yeah, all right. Catch you guys later.
All right. As I said in the chat here, Nei-Chi is here. Now, unfortunately, we already showed her video, but if she has anything to say about it, I can either replay it for reference sake, or she can just explain a few things about it. I'll let you guys decide, both the audience and Ben and Tim. What do you guys think I should do?
Well, let's see. Nietzsche. Give me one
Situation
second.
one, right?
For the record, she was the one who did the Royal Washout.
Oh, that one.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we don't need to. I don't think we need to show it again myself, but
I remember it.
say I do have to admit that that one was again really cute. Just the, like I said in the chat room earlier, just the very fact that we had two ponies walking past, you know, Queen Chrysalis in plain full view, washing her hair in the fountain, and nobody giving a damn.
Just how did they encounter Lot? Just think back to Princess Spike, really.
It's like the only time that they actually even notice is like when she actually bothers to actively disguise herself, and even then it's like, okay, they see like a flash and they jerk their heads over to see what's going on, and next thing you know, you see what looks like to be Fleur de Lis just walking down the street, and that scene where Chrysalis in disguise just sort of poses right there at the door, looking all graceful and beautiful, and then she just pratfalls like right on her face. Actually, no, pratfalls when you fall on your bottom, isn't it? Getting my stage directions mixed up here.
Spy, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yep. That medic is a spy. But yeah, like I said last time, the first go, it's kind of stiff. It's a little bit rough, but it has all the necessary ideas already down. And I do believe that if she had more time, if she needed to, she could probably make it smoother over time. Maybe it's just practice, really, because like we said, the schools don't exactly give you enough practice, but all the necessary ideas, all the necessary elements of a good animation are already in there. So.
She's saying it was
Oh, this
ordered-
guy. This guy, Adam Hoppers.
And then there's this guy.
Yep. I remember him
Yeah, I showed his Luna
from a long time ago.
plushie.
Interesting. I did not know this.
I'm going to ignore that for now. What other questions can I ask about this? I hate to ask it because everyone does, but why the hey not? What program did you use? Okay, TV Paint. I've never heard of that one.
Me neither. But apparently it works.
Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking of that cute pose that Chrysalis disguised as Fleur does, and then falls
My
on her
favorite
face.
moment is still the bubble blowing hoof hole thingy.
Definitely. I gotta ask, how did you come up with the Neichi? How did you come up with the whole bubble blowing bit?
Because it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. I think I've seen that a few times before, but I don't think I've ever seen it animated.
Yep. Me neither.
Cute Celeste. I like that. Queen Cute Celeste.
Well, it's a good idea.
Hey, why not? Sometimes the best idea are the ones that just come to you right on the spot.
Very often too. Yes.
Anything else you want to say about the animation? Like, maybe there's something we didn't catch that you want to say about it. We are way running over time here.
It doesn't matter. The comic is short anyway.
I was going to say it's a comic read, so it's not so bad. Yeah, they go fast. That's fine.
This one will particularly.
No problem. Great movie. I enjoyed watching it. It was cute and funny. And I enjoy that stuff. So thank you for A, making it, and B, letting us show it. All right, gentlemen. Shall we get on to the comic?
I suppose so.
Hell yeah, boys.
Mental Gen.
Mental gen.
I don't care if the word mental gen is designed to be to say you're all below me. It's the kind of wordplay I would do.
It's the kind of wordplay I do every day. So, I'm serious.
All right. The Pinkie Pie Micro Comic.
The Micro Pie Pinkie Comic.
This Guion. So we have Pinkie, Twilight, and some incidentals. We'll call Poniachi as a incidental.
I'll take the incidentals.
I don't know if I want to take Twilight or if I want to take Pinkie.
Pinkie has more
Just-
lines, if that's
Yeah.
any decisive factor.
And she probably needs normal voice because she has a lot of lines. You'd get very tired if you tried one of your trademark voices.
I suppose I could take Pinkie.
All right. Then, as I said, is Guion. Depending on the various titles, the cover pages, all of them work wonderfully. You know, nothing really much to say. Stories by Ted Anderson. It was his first one in the series, if you guys recall the interview. Arts by Ben Bates. I can never read those. Anyway, let's carry on. We open up in the Golden Oaks Library.
Le dust. Le turn.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. Very funny, that Jurassic Park reference. Was there an earthquake scheduled for today?
Twilight! Boom.
Thump. Hello, Pinkie.
Oh my gosh, Twilight, I won!
Won? What did you...
Okay, so Coca-Cola is having a contest and you had to find a winning cap, and so I drank 314 bottles of Coca-Cola and none of them won, but the 315th bottle had a winning cap and I won! I won!
Pinkie, please slow down. One thing at a time, okay? What did you win?
Tickets, Twilight. He's performing tonight and I got tickets and I want you to come with me.
Pinkie, calm down. Deep breaths. Tickets to what? Who's performing?
The greatest clown in all of Equestria.
Head scratch. Head
Poniachi.
scratch.
Poniachi's my idol. He's forgotten more stuff about comedy than most ponies ever learn.
He must be pretty funny.
Pretty funny. Poniachi made Princess Luna laugh so hard she sprained a wing. He's got standing ovation from the Griffin Kingdom. He once fought off a rampaging bear with nothing but a rubber chicken.
I once killed a man with a paperclip and a piece of string.
Sounds like you really admire this Poniachi.
Oh, you bet, mister. I've studied every one of his routines, bought all of his joke books. I even bought the talking Poniachi doll.
Wait, hey, who is ready to laugh?
Quit touching my junk, pervert. Are you here to see Poniachi, sir?
No, I'm afraid that not even Poniachi can get me to laugh.
What do you mean, sir?
What? Oh, no. Don't say that. Every pony deserves to laugh. Here, take my ticket. Maybe Poniachi really can get you to laugh.
That's very kind of you, miss, but there's no need. I have to go. Enjoy the show.
Come on, Pinkie. The show's about to start.
Chop, chop, chop. Fillies and gentlecoats, fools of all ages, prepare yourself for the astounding antics of Equestria's silliest star, Poniachi. Wait, hey, who's ready to laugh? He plays music.
Yeah, the order's probably going to be way off here, so just go ahead and read them all.
He juggles. He flies through the air with the greatest of ease. He tells jokes. So I said, alligator? I thought you said bagpipes. Lol. He does tricks. Huzzah.
That was hilarious, Pinkie. You were right about Poniachi.
Yeah, come on, let's head backstage.
Are you sure we should be back here?
That's okay, our tickets let us go backstage. I can't believe it, I'm gonna meet my idol. I'm gonna meet the pony who invented the sideways backflip and the silent knock-knock joke. Poniachi, Mr. Poniachi, would you sign this, please?
Sure, miss. Just give me a second to wash my makeup off. Splosh.
Dun dun dun. It's you! I mean, you're him!
You're the pony we met before the show.
Look.
So that's what you meant when you said even Poniachi couldn't get you to laugh. You are Poniachi.
That's right, miss.
But you were so sad! How could a clown be so sad?
Well, that's just it, miss. I'm sorry I didn't ask your name.
Pinkie Pie, 2 P's, 2 E's, and 3 I's.
That's adorable.
Yep.
Also, that third eye just stares right into your soul.
I've been a clown for a very long time. Why? I was trading the bars before you were even born. Traveling from town to town, performing night after night. I love being a clown. I love making ponies laugh, but even for a young pony, it's hard work. And I haven't been a young pony in a very long time. All I want to do in life is make ponies laugh. Comedies, even in my cutie mark, but being a clown is draining. I can't keep performing like I used to, so I've decided to retire.
What?
You're quitting clowning?
Okay, I'm just gonna stop this right now. I'm just gonna say I kind of wish I could actually show my Skype icon right here, because that expression would probably be perfect for that line.
Yep. Even Nightmare Moon is surprised. I'm afraid I'm getting too old to clown like in the old days. In fact, look close. Tonight may have been my last performance ever.
But Mr. Poniachi, you are an inspiration to me. I don't want you to stop being a clown.
I'm happy I could inspire you, Miss Pivot. I hope you keep clowning. But as for me, well, every performer needs to know where to leave the stage.
Aw, sad face.
Lick, lick. Lick, lick. Hey, hey, how does a bee style his hair? With a honeycomb.
Oh, Poniachi doll, thanks for trying to cheer me up.
Pinkie, I know you're sad Poniachi's retiring, but I'm trying to get my grocery shopping done and...
Oh, don't worry about me. Just pile the vegetables on top of me.
I think what Twilight's trying to say is that you're in the way, Pinkie.
Of course I am. Why bother? What's the point of being in a world without Poniachi?
Let hide.
I think you're overreacting a little. It's not like Poniachi's just going away. He's just not performing anymore.
That's practically the same thing. A clown who doesn't do any clowning is hardly a clown at all. How can he just give up on his profession?
It's called a pension plan. Well, like he said, he's getting older, and he's been performing for a long time. I don't think he wants to stop, but he can't keep it up forever.
But he's an inspiration to millions. How can he abandon all his loyal fans?
This isn't about you, Pinkie, or any of his fans. I'm sure Poniachi is doing this for his own reasons.
Yeah, but it just doesn't seem fair.
I know it doesn't, but it's his decision, Pinkie.
I know. Just wish I could convince him to keep performing.
That cute AJ scene.
Yep.
I wish I could have seen Poniachi perform. He must be pretty inspiring.
Spike! That's it! You're a genius! I know what I can do! Twilight, how many boxes of glitter do you have?
None?
Great! I'll need all of them!
Exploding things. Things. Rubber chickens, costumes.
Letter from Mr. Poniachi.
Damn, that's cute.
Pew!
Look this way. Look.
Look this way, but up, look this way. I'm sorry. Boom.
Take care, Pinkie.
Oh, do I even try to do this?
There's actually a literally sung version of this.
Yeah, there is a song version of this. I actually had the link, but let's see what we got here. Well, problem is we didn't really get permission to actually use the actual file. I don't think. Oh, Poniachi, what's got you so blue? You're tired of performing and you think you are through. But Poniachi, please don't look so down. Because the best way to cheer up a clown is with another clown. Poniachi's famous for his many brilliant tricks. His juggle is knives. He swallows fire, plates around on sticks. His corny jokes are legendary. They're known around the whole world. Found I washed my dog with spot remover and now he can't be found.
I suppose you're trying to convince me not to quit too.
No, I'm just handling props and background music.
So put on your costume and powder your face. Give yourself a chance to finish your race. Keep dancing the stage till the curtain falls at last and laugh. Poniachi, laugh. So, did I convince you?
No.
Dun, 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 dun. That look of anime shock on her face is just
Yep.
Yep.
brilliant.
And still frozen in the same pose too. I'm sorry, Miss Pie. If it makes you feel any better, your performance was excellent.
Considering that there was a completely off-the-cuff performance, that says a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Fine singing, good juggling. Your balance in that could use a little work though. Here, listen. Boop, boop, boop. You should inflate it a little more. Give yourself a firmer surface. Is that in our model party cannon? Try using 2-part splitter instead of 1-part. That's it. You'll get a larger bang. That the music was arranged well though. If you had a string section, that might be even better. Decent lyrics, except for their blick rhyme at the end. Have you considered makeup? You could do a lot with your complexion. Your accordion playing is excellent, but your instrument needs to be tuned at least once every 6 months. And for the tiger taming, you definitely shouldn't.
Hey, that's it! You don't need to be a clown. You should teach clowns.
That Siege? I never thought of that before.
That's a really good idea, Pinkie.
You knew just what to look for in my performance. You could help other ponies become better clowns.
I wouldn't have to travel so much. I wouldn't have to perform every night.
Sorry. You could use your knowledge to help future generations of clowns.
You could leave your mark on comedy forever.
Miss Pie, you're brilliant. I can't keep being funny without having to perform. This is wonderful. How can I ever repay you?
Squeaky.
Squee. Well, there's one thing.
Give me all your money.
Only at this school of telling japes and buffoonery. Ceasefire. Let's check your pie throwing recruits. Custard, bullseye, nice job. Trollololo, way to the right. Tighten your up your throw.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop that name there. Just that name, Trollololo. Does anybody else think of Edward Quill with that?
I was going to make that joke if Tim wasn't going on.
Yeah.
Oh. There.
Ya da la da da da. Yeah. Let's moving on. Dun 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 dun.
I have to say, Poniachi looks much happier.
And he's got students coming from all over Equestria. The school's a huge success.
Gigglehead, watch your aim. You almost hit Laughing Matter.
Why didn't you ask to join, Pinkie? I'm sure Poniachi would love to teach you.
Let's just say I've already learned plenty from him.
If you know what I mean.
Dear Princess Celestia, today I learned absolute jack. No, today I learned that sometimes it can be hard doing something that you love, especially if you've been doing it for a long time. But with the help of a new outlook, we can always find a way to keep being involved. You're never too old to be a part of what you love. I'm glad I was able to help Poniachi keep being funny, even off the stage. And knowing that you've helped someone fulfill their dream can be just as good as filling your own. Pinkie Pie. The end!
And next up is the Applejack Micro, but we'll get there when we get there. So, as always, folks, thoughts, concerns?
Well, no concerns here. Except that's actually a really good moral.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I didn't cause anyone's ears to bleed with my horrible attempt at singing there.
It was fine.
So. Other than that, I have to admit this is probably one of the best microcomics I read. Now, this is actually the one microcomic that I have read before in the past, before we ever actually started doing these. And I have to admit, this was actually so in character for Pinkie, and not just trying to get what she wanted to get done, but coming up with that idea of actually doing the clowning school. And I was like, oh man, that's actually really sweet of her. I mean, that,
It's very much in character for her.
yeah. I kind of have to admit it felt to me like when she was like not wanting Poniachi to quit, it sounded like it seemed uncharacteristically selfish for her. But then it's just, sometimes Pinkie can be kind of like that. So
Yep.
It's not
I didn't
evil
want to mention that.
It's not evil for her to hold that want.
no,
The difference
Think back to Pinkie Pride.
the difference lays in if she were to actually force him, but that's not the case, of course.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pinkie's just not that type of person to hold a gun to someone's head. Although considering the fact that she lacks opposable thumbs, that's not really so surprising.
Well, she's the only pony who is canonically confirmed to have a gun.
Good point.
True.
Hi, I'm Pinkie Pie, and I can bend space and time. What's your power? I thought so. What was it I was going
Yeah.
to say?
It's one of the better microcomics. One of the best three, probably.
I definitely think this one is a bit underrated.
It is.
People don't talk about a lot of these micros, save for the Rarity and Luna one, and that's kind of sad. I know I've said this about 1 billion times now, folks, but I think it deserves to be stated again and again that some of these comics, the ones people don't talk about, they're worth talking about, and this is one of them. Yeah, there isn't much to really be said about it in terms of, like, say, the aforementioned ones I said, or the maybe even like a TV episode, but that doesn't mean it's not worth discussing, even if it's something quick like what we do here. I mean, I know our discussions on the comic are so fast because the story is so, I almost want to say bare bones, but maybe a little straightforward would be a better statement here. Regardless of the word I use, where I was reading Ven's here. There are good nuggets to be had of this comic. Like, for instance, I like the fact that it gives Pinkie Pie a source of inspiration, i.e. Poniachi. I know it's not the most direct reason why she is the way she is, but it is nice to see some kind of other way of... It's nice to see someone she looks up to.
Yeah.
A lot of the whole idea of watching your... Sorry, were you guys going to say something?
I wasn't, no. I do have to admit, no, that now that you've mentioned it, this is kind of, interesting to see more of Pinkie's, we don't actually often see what inspires the main cast in terms of like role models or anything like that. So actually getting an actual role model for Pinkie for this one here is actually rather nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
So
something that I really like about this one is, I don't want to word this nicely. It's often hard to watch your heroes die, whether literally or metaphorically. However, it's a very common used trope in not just literature of all colors, but real life, if you really think about it. At some point, you're going to lose your source of inspiration. At some point, you're going to have to strike out on your own. Hopefully, your teacher, especially if they were a direct teacher, prepare you for that. So you mentioned about the moral, Tim. or Ben, I'm sorry. Yeah, I definitely have to give high regards to the moral and just the story overall for this one.
Yeah, I wanted to say that on the discussion of the previous episode, well, of this week's episode, and now looking at this comic in particular, made me think again on that rather old but still true, not statement, but fact of life, that pony stories are not the most convoluted or not the most super never done before. They are not the strangest, and they aren't really, detective style, but they usually have that nice twist, like here with Poniachi, not simply being straightforwardly inspired by Pinkie, but Pinkie figuring out a way to find a solution that would satisfy him and still keep him in the game. This kind of twist. They are common to the show and they are common to the comics. I would say that people unfairly complain about it too often, in my experience.
Something I want to add to that, you almost took the words right out of my mouth, but the only thing I want to add to that is you mentioned the twist of the ending being a good thing. Definitely. I have to agree with you on that. The reason, the thing I want to add is oftentimes I see it enough, I'll get back to that. I see it enough in these your hero dies kind of story where the hero is, just that he or she literally dies, or they ride off into the sunset in spite of the underling trying all they can to quote unquote save the mentor. But this one, as you said, did what it did. It said, why not have Poniachi open up a school? That's a good twist. It's not exclusive to this. I've seen it done before, but yeah, definitely I like this.
True.
I like this twist. I really do.
Yep. And well, I don't think any more twists are really necessary. And on that matter, the stories without such a twist, without such a kind of change of direction that ends up creating a sort of new outcome. Stories without it, both in comics and in the show itself, they end up being some of the weakest and on the weaker side. And those that do have those twists end up being the more memorable, stronger episodes and comics and so on. We have the same thing going on in the Rare to Micro, for example.
Yeah. I'll definitely say that it's
we had the same thing in this week's episode.
I'll definitely say that it's sometimes situational. Sometimes, especially when the mentor really does die, sometimes that can be just as strong, if not better, than something like this. It's situational, definitely.
Sure. It depends on the franchise and depends on the situation itself, just the localized, setup. It depends on many things, but overall, I'd say that things without such little twists, which Bond includes in almost every episode and almost every comic, those without such twists are generally weaker. To me, at least. They don't produce nearly the same kind of impression. They don't really feel as good. They don't feel as interesting or as memorable. And those that just play it straight and end up being memorable are usually doing so by way of, well, how to put it, maybe the emotional impact of that mentor death, hero death, or whether it be some character we're really invested into, or something like that, someone really close and important to the reader by way of the story.
Mm-hmm.
That's how normally this impact is achieved. And here, well, he isn't. He is to Pinkie, but he isn't to us. So without him actually, without that figure, actually, without them figuring out the solution of keeping him in the game by opening the school. If she had just convinced him to return, it would have been a very shallow feeling comic. And if she didn't just convince and game over, and it would have been an even less popular comic. At least to me, in my opinion.
I agree.
But here they worked out a great solution.
A third option.
Yep.
So what do you guys have to say about the comic overall?
It's one of those comics I almost kind of wish it was a little longer, but this was actually a pretty good, decent length as it was. I mean, especially since this is a micro comic.
Yeah, and I can't think of anything more to add to the story.
I'll let the audience chime in here a little bit, but overall, I love of all the micros. This one, I love the way the story flows with this one. It just feels very natural. It's kind of hard for me to describe and put into words here, but the events flow from one to another in a very logical and
it's very well paced.
Yeah, very well paced.
And it's interconnecting. Yes, it flows. It doesn't have sudden jumps. It doesn't have the twist it has. It's not breaking the flow.
And it doesn't really even seem like it comes out of nowhere. Everything lines up. You might call the ticket winning out there, but it's minor. I'm not even gonna nitpick that one. But beyond
that, it was just a plot starter.
Yeah, it's just a plot point. Anyway, the point I'm getting at here is everything just flows wonderfully. I never felt one hiccup in the flow of events, and that's good. I enjoyed reading it because of that.
You know, I could actually get on that and mention something in more detail.
Go ahead.
I didn't really feel even a single hiccup, even at the start, because the start, has to start somewhere.
Right.
Meanwhile, even in the Rarity Micro, the end did feel kind of, little bit of a hiccup with how it just jumped from the solution to the post. Essentially,
I can see where
the post-conflict panels.
I can see where you're going there.
It's what people often complain about in Pond episodes, but to my mind, most of those complaints in episodes are usually unfounded.
Well, not only that, but you only have so much to work with either. I mean, with the episodes, you've only got like 22 minutes, and with comics, you only got so many pages, so...
I do think that there could be at least one strip in the Rarity comic that would shift that would make the transition smoother. Here, though, in this Pinkie one, there is no need for such a thing because it's all flowing smoothly, one from another.
I think I'm gonna say it. I think this comic could have been a TV episode.
Yeah,
it could have easily been one.
It could have, like with the Rarity one, yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly how you tell the best comics apart from the others, where they really make for a good episode material.
Anything else? I've said all I need to say.
I could say something. It's a fairly decent art style, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, we can
not
definitely.
overly detailed. It's normally simplified. It's still show-like. It's definitely simplified, but definitely show-like, and it's not doesn't seem too hard to do art-wise and effort-wise, but it keeps all the necessary points. It's a very good comic style.
Ben Bates is a regular on the comics, and I like his style. I'll say that right. I'll say that right off bat, kind of on the same vein here, and it's for that very reason. It looks like comic book in a comic book style, but it's not overdone or anything. Let me back up here. It's in a comic book style, but he keeps a very show-accurate look to it as well.
Yeah.
He strikes a very good balance between comic book and show.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I'm just kind of cycling through some of the through some of the panels here to give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about and to give you various looking styles. All right. Any other things?
No, I really can't say anything about myself. Or can't say anything about anything. Bleh.
I got that.
I'm trying not to nod off here, so.
Sorry.
So then shall we wrap this bad boy up?
I suppose if we can't think of anything else.
I could say that particularly the early panels and some of the later ones make a good job of, imparting the same Pinkie style that she has in the show, of being kind of a bit too large for the frame she's in, essentially. in the sense of her presence rather than size.
I think that's good. Go ahead.
Where she pops out of frames, where she has the weirdly styled text in her speech bubbles, where she has essentially where she kind of breaks the wall, except not fully.
Given who we're dealing with, what a shock!
And it's just that it does take some effort to represent that in comics as well as it is represented in the show, and this comics does that, I'd say, to just a necessary degree without overdoing it, like some fan comics do.
Seriously, is she just going to? When is Pinkie just going to fly out the television and we're going to get news reporters saying a pony today was popped out of the TV? Details at 11. No, I'm sorry. Let's do the real news report. A vicious pony appeared out of the TV today. Is your child in danger? Details at 11.
Oh, I actually got the same image for that here. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna throw it in the chat room.
I'll bring it up if it's clean.
Yeah.
No pony can save you now. Not even the fourth wall.
Pinkie Pie shows us how it's. Oh, God help me!
All right. If that's all, if that is it, then let's wrap this up.
No, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up.
Boom, boom. All right. Next week, folks.
Wrap up.
Yeah.
We're going to finish the main 6 micros with the AJ micro next week. Then after that, the Shining Armor and Cadence micro, and then we'll get the rest of the micros after that. There are 3 of them left, so we might as well chew them up.
No.
In the meantime, I want to thank, of course, as always, MrBen and TiM for following me on these silly antics.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Indeed.
Until then, folks, farewell.